In the currency space, the rupee continues to be at a 2-month low, ending the day at 55.06. Despite a weaker dollar, the rupee continues its downward trend. Lackluster trading in the Indian equities also affected the currency. But on your screens now, as you can see, 56.06. Friday's closing was definitely 56.17. So probably we will be, flirting at that mark shortly. Let's pose this question with Manish Thanawala, director at Greenback Forex Services. So last week, Friday's closing, we did see 56.1617 being achieved, and we are back at 56.06. Do you think that the level of 55.20, which you were saying, could be, taken out shortly?
Well, there are too many risk factors currently operating in the market which really could take out 55.20, and the key factor to watch would be the Middle East. And if the Middle East crisis were to escalate and crude were to jump, then there is a very good likelihood that rupee will go through the pivot of 55.20. As long as we are below 55.20, I think it's a good sell. I think we could capture maybe 54.80, 54.50 levels before we again start moving up again. And December again traditionally has been a quieter month globally because people go on holidays, and I think the US festive season kicks off this Thursday with a Thanksgiving holiday. So of course it's going to be very important to see how the flow situation also spans out as we go ahead in December, because a lot of flows do happen in equity markets, portfolio realignments, which probably could help the rupee. So it could work either way. If people want to take out money, then we could get into a situation where rupee will start depreciating. If people actually bring in incremental money, of course it will be very positive for the rupee. So I think right now the pivot is 55.20, and that's what everybody is watching.
Manish, the entire tension in the Middle East has actually got escalated in the last 72 hours. But US fiscal cliff has been coming, and people are already factoring in it in their estimates. Of course, trade data back home in India is also in the price to a certain extent. Somebody who has not initiated a trade till now and is probably watching out for the tension to, how it actually pans out. And tomorrow some adverse news actually comes about. What is the extent of movement do you see? And would you recommend, taking a trade for those traders?
See, I think right now the markets are closed. Your first trade tomorrow can be 9 o'clock, and by that time we should have great clarity on what's happening in the Gaza, whether the Israelis are going to negotiate a ceasefire or probably they are going to launch a ground offensive. If you see a ground offensive being launched, then of course I would want to go long dollar, short rupee, because straight away it's going to impact crude. If things back off, then at least I would want to short dollar rupee to ride the move down to 54.80, 54.50 levels. That is what I would probably look at doing, and if I was somebody who has not taken a position, that is what I would actually do tomorrow.
Right, but how much probability would you assign to these two trades? If nothing actually happens, then how much would you short the dollar and buy rupee trade, and if the tensions actually escalate, to what level? So how much is your money spread between the two trades?
See, if I were looking at the situation from where I stand today, if the tension does escalate and we see 55.20 giving way, then I think we can easily see a test of 55.80, 56.20 on the horizon. We must also remember that next week will be a month-end week, and 20th is again a holiday for the market because of Guru Nanak Jayanti. So we have a short week next week. So of course there will be buying pressures in the first 2 days of the week. So given that the appreciation probably could be restricted to this week, and next week again we could see demand coming up. And in addition to this demand, we could have the Middle East problem, which could accelerate the situation and quickly take rupee much higher than where it is today.
Vijay, chartists always say that charts actually capture a lot of news flow and development. So how does a chart of rupee dollar pair actually look at right now?
Well, Ajay, I've been maintaining the view. It's a slightly contrarian view and might even appear a little aggressive. But once the current month, the prompt month futures on the NSE currency futures segment go past the 55.5 levels on a closing basis with expanded volumes and increased open interest, my guess is the rupee is likely to weaken vis-a-vis the US dollar, with a fair probability that we are likely to test the previous peak in the dollar close to 57 levels. I'm bearish on the rupee. I would basically watch out for price triggers to let me go long dollar, short rupee.
All right, Manish, Vijay, thanks a lot for joining us.